we all do a lot of online programs, right? And we all realize that lack of participation costs a lot of lack of interest from the side of the resource person. You have been through it, okay? So I'm going to do one activity with all of you today, which you can actually use it in your further programs also. And end of this activity, there's going to be some debriefing also. Okay, so I want everybody. May I request a few people to please switch on your cameras? Can you do that if you're comfortable, if your context permits you? May I request a few participants, few colleagues to kindly switch on your cameras? Um, no, it's very energizing to talk to a face, talk to a human rather than talking to a wall. One or two participants? Is it possible? Oh, thank you, Vimy ma'am. Thanks a lot. Thank you very much. I really appreciate the lovely faces that I see on my screen. All right. So the activity goes like this. Everybody is just going to breathe in and breathe out, right? Inhale and exhale. And just watch your breath. I mean, no yoga, no pranayam. Everybody just breathe in and breathe out. Okay? Again, breathe in and then breathe out. Okay? Now, everybody is going to breathe in and hold the breath. Okay? And when you're holding the breath, just become mindful of time. I would like to know for how long could you hold your breath? Okay? Not a competition, nothing at all, but just breathe in, hold your breath, and hold it for as long as possible. And when you exhale, just mind the time. You can unmute and share the time with me, or you can use the chat box to share. How long could you hold the breath? Okay, everybody, breathe in. Look at your computer screens or maybe your mobile screens. What is the time? Keep holding on to your breath and see for how long can you hold your breath. And those of you who have already exhaled, just share with me. For how long did you hold your breath? 43 seconds, okay. 15 seconds. 41, 45, 35. Brilliant, thank you. 40, 1 minute, all right. Okay, now, wonderful. Ajay sir, Sumit sir, Fatim, 20 seconds. Dr. Priya Sridhar, about 1 minute. Great, brilliant. Now, anybody who had inhaled, held on to the breath, ultimately there came a time, irrespective of the window that you could hold your breath, there came a time that you had to exhale it. That's the cycle, that's the rhythm of life. Okay? What would happen had you just been holding on to this? If you had not exhaled, what would happen? Yes? What would happen if you do not exhale after inhaling? You'll choke, isn't it? There will be oxygen deficit. Right? Yeah, Brijesh sir, you're right. You will die. So every inhale has to have an exhale. Now, if I put it in the context of our trainings, whatever I'm sharing with you, right? The information that I'm sharing with you, the knowledge that I would share with you is your inhale. You will take in a lot of data, information, knowledge. Absolutely, Satish sir, there will be lack of oxygen, isn't it? But if throughout the program, that's your inhale, okay, whatever you're taking from me is your inhale. And whatever you will contribute to the presentation today is your exhale. If you do not exhale, if you do not participate, if you do not share your perspective, if you do not respond, what would happen is called data choking, information overload. And after a little while, you will all lose interest because you'll get so overwhelmed with all that I have, brought on the table. So my only request is when I ask you questions, inhale my question, and then what do you need to do? What do you need to do after inhaling my question? Come on, use the chat box or you can unmute and answer me. When you are inhaling a question from me, what are you supposed to do?
Yep. Respond to your question.
Absolutely. You have to exhale the answer. Thank you very much, Satish sir. If I ask you to participate in an activity, do some writing, wonderful Puneet sir, right? Or reflect back on something, that's your inhalation. Okay? And you picking up the pen doing that activity or you responding to the activity will be your exhalation. And that's how this cycle will move on. Right? So, do you all promise that you, throughout the presentation, the inhalation and exhalation will carry on between me and you? Do you all promise that? So, today, the topic that we are going to discuss is building trust and respect in an organization. Right? We all crave for this trust, this um, respect in the organization. But please understand that gone were the days when trust and respect were a matter of uh, your chair. Now you got to earn it, isn't it? It's not going to come easy to all of us. Okay, now let's see what does trust look like. Now my question to all of you. Think about all different situations in life where you have to get along with others. How do you know if there is trust in the relationship? Think about all the situations, right? All the situations: family, social, professional, community, and the relationship that you share with people there. And tell me, how do you know if there is trust in your relationship? What is your index of that trust? Yes. What is your index of trust? How do you know that I trust this person or this person is trustworthy? Just feelings or emotions. Yes, there is a feeling and emotion of some sort of security in that relationship. Perfect, Puneet sir. Absolutely. What else? No exhalation? Cool. Up to you. Okay. Now, let me define trust for all of you. Trust means you share your vulnerability with someone, right? And you share something with somebody, your weakness, something that you're lacking, and there is an expectation that they will responsibly care for an important interest of ours, isn't it? Even though when they have the opportunity to share it with everybody, to let the world know about that weakness, that deficit, that vulnerability, they still hold the secret, they still hold the word, they still hold uh, your sharing very safely and closely with themselves. This is called as trust, isn't it? So you're ready to be vulnerable in front of somebody because you have the security that your vulnerability is safe here. it will never get out of this room. It will never ever get out of this conversation. So, trust is defined as to have confidence, faith, or hope in someone or something. See, such a delicate thing it is. It is so easy to mess with it, to meddle with it, right? You have the power also, you may have the capacity also, yet, yet you tender it with a lot of care, isn't it? So when people start sharing their vulnerabilities with you, that's the time you can understand that you have become or you are becoming a very trustworthy individual. They trust you, they have faith in you, they have a strong element of hope in the relationship, and trust, like Rome, was never ever is never built in one night, isn't it, or in one day. It takes maybe weeks and months of inputs, valuable inputs, which would result in somebody seeing you as a trustworthy individual, right? Now, those of you who are in leadership positions, right? There is an environment, there is a culture that is required to build up this trust. Okay? And that culture, I'm calling it as circle of safety. So, if there was one word which could build up trust, that one word is people feel safe in that environment. They feel that their vulnerabilities will be respected, right? They would be honored, right? And uh, so, in an organization, there are a lot of threats that are there. Every individual in any organization experiences or can experience a lot of threats. Yes, anybody. Can you recognize some threats that an individual face from outside the organization? Any threats that you can think of? We are all working professionals, right? What threats do you think, or what are the kind of challenges, everyday managements, or bigger challenges that you think we face in our organization from the outside world? इतना competition है ना, there is so much of competition, isn't it? Then also we feel that from the outside there is so much of uncertainty in our jobs, in our professions, in the world that we live in, right? Uh, there are lack of collaboration that happens, dog eat dog mentality. There are people who are just there to replace you. So there are a lot of threats that we experience in our outside threats are very rare. I know. You're right, Puneet. They are rare because of the nature of the job that we are in. But looking at the insecurities, the competition, the uncertainties, the vulnerabilities of the world we are in, we can think of and perceive a lot of threats. But imagine if you have a circle of safety, if you have a cozy kind of an organization where you're given this vibe that you belong here, that your interests will be protected here, right? That you are appreciated. There's a culture of appreciation in the organization. You are kind of acknowledged for your talent and your abilities, right? And people get inspired, or you get inspired when others move ahead in their lives. There is a buddy system, a strong, supportive cohort that surrounds you, and you felt heard in the organization, right? You feel that you're being welcomed. There is somebody who is listening to you. You can share your grievances with someone. You can share your feelings of fear or uncertainty with someone. There is a sense of reassurance that is there around you. This is the kind of environment which is required for building up trust. Now, I'm going to pose another question to all of you with the hope that you will answer that question. What are the three basic physiological needs we humans have? Three basic physiological needs. There was a Hindu movie also made on these three
रोटी
needs.
कपड़ा और मकान.
Yeah, thank you. Roti, kapda, or makan. So, like we have basic physiological needs which are important for our survival, we also have three very critical, very crucial psychological needs. When fulfilled, this really facilitates our emotional and psychological survival in an organization or at home, in a relationship with your children, colleagues, spouses, whoever you think, right? And you can really note this down, because if you could fulfill these three simple psychological needs of the people around you, you actually are the epicenter for building up trust, security, safety, and respect in the organization. The first need is called as need to be seen. Need to be seen. You are visible. Your presence matters. Okay? Second is need to be heard. That when you say something, there is somebody who's acknowledging that, okay, I'm here, I'm listening. Your perspective matters. Need to be seen, need to be heard, and third important need is need to be valued. You are appreciated, acknowledged as a human being. You're appreciated and acknowledged as a colleague, as a teacher, as a parent, as an educator, right? And with this 6 inches device in our hands, trust me, we couldn't care less. We don't talk to people. One, we see through them. We all live in our own zombie world. We don't exchange glances. We don't exchange smiles anymore in the corridors. We are hustling for something that I have no idea about. What is it that we are chasing and running around for? Right? We don't even communicate, and while communicating, we don't even have eye contact. God damn it! How will you fulfill the need for visibility or need to be visible for the people who matter to you? Need to be heard. How much do we acknowledge when people talk to us? Do we nod our heads? Right? Do we give them some monosyllable or longish answers to what they are saying? Do we tell them that whatever they have said, we are going to take some action on that? How do we make anybody feel valued as a human, as an individual, in a context, in an ecosystem? Yes, anybody who has anything to share that somebody made you felt seen, heard, or valued, and you still remember it, and it really left a lasting impact on you. Or maybe you did the same for somebody, and how this person um, acknowledges you as somebody who made some difference in their lives. Yes, anybody who would like to share an anecdote on this, or an experience, or an observation. That the way somebody made you feel heard, seen, valued, you still can't forget that. And you learned something new on that day. Don't tell me you haven't experienced this kind of attention from anybody in your life. No response? Come on, you can give it a shot. How somebody made you felt heard, Seen or valued, or you felt you made somebody feel heard, seen, or valued? If you haven't ever, it's time you start practicing this. Smile at people, isn't it? Look into their eyes when they are talking to you.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
So many times when I talk to someone means to some student who is ignored by all, and
Mm,
after that I saw drastic change in their life.
lovely. Very powerful, ma'am.
And मतलब ऐसा है कि it has passed 10 years, almost 10 years. They kept messaging me मतलब on Mother's Day or Teacher's Day just because of these small. I
Just
yes, I gave them a hear, I gave them a listen. That's why
wonderful. What do you teach, मैम? आप क्या पढ़ाते हो?
I'm a teacher of computer science engineering.
वाह, कितना बड़ा गिफ्ट है मैम जो आप अपने स्टूडेंट्स को दे देते हो. एंड सी, 10 साल बाद भी आप, यू नो, यू आर, उनका
ये
एक्सलेशन आप रिसीव करते हो, इजंट इट?
एग्जाम्पल है, एक बच्चा मेरा अपनी
हम्म.
गाड़ी लेने गया है फर्स्ट, तो उसने कॉल किया कि मैम प्लीज आप आ जाओ, तो बस
वाह,
जस्ट नहीं जा पाए.
just imagine. Wow. So powerful. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you for sharing this
थैंक
genuine gesture with all of us. Yes, anybody else? Would you like to share something? Thank you for the initiative, ma'am. I really appreciate it. Okay. Now, you can add 3 A's to what you have all written just now. Need to be heard, need to be seen, and need to be valued. How can we make people seen, heard, valued, and seen as 3 A's? Learn to pay attention. First A is attention. Second A is appreciation. Become very magnanimous when it comes to appreciating other people's efforts, how they are looking on a certain day, what they have done, you know, differently on a particular day. So pay attention to people around you, appreciate them, acknowledge them, compliment them for little things that you notice in either their behavior, their appearance, the contribution that they are making. And three, show a lot of affection to people around you, especially students, right? Because attention, appreciation, and affection, these are the 3 A's which again work like oxygen for us human beings, and Google cannot do that. YouTube cannot provide that, right? So if you really want to stand out as a professional, as a teacher, as a colleague, as a parent, as a spouse, learn the art of complimenting people around you. Learn the art of taking interest in their interests around you. Let them know how much you want to listen about their accomplishments, their achievements, their observations, their travel plans, their future, right? Create space for other people's perspective, and 100% your organization would be like a safety bubble, a very safe, comforting bubble, and people will never leave you. People will never leave the department. People never leave these organizations because one of the major chunk of their psychological needs are met there. And see, look at your screens, everybody. When we give a circle of safety to people, that's the space where people grow. That's the space where people feel that, belong. And that's when they feel that there is alignment between their life goals and the organizational goals. And the culture is such that people have the freedom to be, isn't it? There is collaboration instead of competition. There is appreciation instead of criticism. Imagine what wonderful spaces these bubbles comforting bubbles these organizations would look like. So, within the safety circle, right, people feel valued, they feel cared, they feel belonged, right? There is, there is transparency in these organizations. People don't have to put up any wrong, false facades, right? You can be so authentic in such organizations, right? And when your energy is all channelized towards work because all other variables are taken care of. There's no backbiting and bitching and nasty comments and plotting and politics, etc. So everybody is focusing on growth. There's more research happening, there is more innovation happening, there are more events that are happening in these organizations because there are no other things that you actually need to focus upon other than growth, forward movement, progress, collaboration, and yeah, fundamentally, improving in most of the aspects of your life. How many of you think it's possible? May I have some show of hands? Can you use the chat box that, yeah, ma'am, ऐसा हो सकता है. ऐसी organizations हो सकती हैं where people feel valued, people feel heard, people feel that they belong, and they are appreciated, and there is scope of growth. Yes. How many of you feel it's possible? Or how many of you think you're part of such organizations? जहाँ ग्रोथ है, जहाँ कोलैबोरेशन है, जहाँ कॉलीग्स में कंपटीशन कम और एनवी नहीं है. Ritu ma'am says it's possible. Thank God, Ritu ma'am, at least there's one person who feels this is possible and it's not an utopian concept. Honestly, it's possible. If you look at large organization like Tata's, isn't it? Like Infosys. People join these organizations and they never leave these organizations. Why? Because there is trust. है ना? There is a sense of trust there. और ट्रस्ट बिल्डअप करने के मैंने आपको बहुत सिंपल नुस्खे बता दिए. राइट? ओके. Now, when there is lack of trust, वो कैसा दिखता है? How does it appear? How does it look like? When there is a lot of politics in your organizations, right? When there are punishments on mistakes, when there is name calling, when you're intimidated in front of everybody, that and things are told on your face in a very indignified manner, when there are rejections, right? When people stop talking to you in certain organizations because probably they assume you to be some kind of threat to their career, when there are sudden layoffs, uncertainties, when information is held back, right? When there is a lot of competition, backbiting, then imagine instead of you channelizing your energies into academics and moving forward and doing things that are required, being an educator and a professional, you're just saving yourself from every corner. These are all bullets, and you're just kind of working on how not to get hit. So when there are bullets around you, who the hell cares for growth and progress and targets and goals and everything? No, we just want to survive, isn't it? So when people lack trust, those organizations are just surviving, and they can just come crashing down any moment, any time, because nobody feels safe or secure in that particular organization. when there is a lot of cynicism in organization, when everybody is just bothered about themselves and we are just interested in our own self-centric interest, there is no world centricism. You don't care the least about other people in your organization. That's when there is a lot of distrust, right? And people feel threatened all the time. You feel that your job is really hanging with a thread, and any day that thread will break. Or even if there is no threat on the job, you don't feel any movement, any progress. There is stagnation. You feel suffocated in that organization. And often you have heard of something called as toxic work culture. This is exactly what toxic work culture looks like, right? So, I know cultures cannot be changed overnight, neither can they be built overnight. And it's people who make culture, it's leaders who make culture. Culture always flow upside down like a waterfall, isn't it? So when the top people in an organization understand how important it is to create this safety circle within the organization, right? And not just performance based organization or performance based appraisals are done, right? But personality based appraisals are also done, right? That's when an organization becomes a very healthy organization. So, how many of you are into recruiting, please? May I have some show of hands? HR or TPOs, training placement officers? How many of you are into recruiting here? Or you become a part of, the committees that recruit and hold interviews, etc.? How many heads of the departments? How many of you are heads of your departments or deans or hold a leadership position? So, ma'am, your experience, ma'am, like in recruitment or Anamika, ma'am, yeah, any experience
Ma'am,
that you would like to share?
I'm just HOD of my department.
Hmm. You're the HOD. Okay. So, any experience, ma'am, that you would like to share regarding, how rejections, isolation, intimidation works, or how appreciation and regarding a colleague and valuing a colleague makes some difference. Would you like to add something, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Sure.
लाइक स्टार्टिंग में बहुत एक्सपीरियंस नहीं था
Hmm.
बट और सभी मेरे डिपार्टमेंट में ना एज वाइज मुझसे बड़े ही हैं
हो अच्छा, क्या पढ़ाते हो मैम आप?
कंप्यूटर साइंस इंजीनियरिंग मैम
ओके, यू आर ऑल्सो अ कंप्यूटर साइंस इंजीनियरिंग टीचर, ओके।
हाँ जी इससे पहले भी मैं ही बोल रही थी वो
अच्छा,
जब
ओके,
हाँ
सॉरी अनामिका मैम, मैंने तब नोटिस नहीं किया। अच्छा।
यस बट मतलब अभी कुछ हैं जो रिटायरमेंट के आसपास हैं बट वही होता है ना कि वो पता नहीं जस्ट बिकॉज ऑफ रिजेक्शन या क्या है कुछ लोग बहुत र्यूड हैं
हम्म।
तो मे बी के डेकोरम तो फॉलो करते हैं तो मुझे कभी ऐसा नहीं लगता बट आपस में एकदम माहौल थोड़ा गड़बड़ हो जाता है बट
ओके।
जैसे वो र्यूडेस्ट पर्सन है ना
हाँ।
उसके साथ भी अगर थोड़ा उसका कोई एप्रिसिएशन वाला पॉइंट लेके बात की जाती है तो
हम्म।
अब ऐसा नहीं है कि एक्चुअली वो लेडीज स्टाफ है हमारा सारा
हाँ हाँ।
ऐसा नहीं है कि वो सामने से सबके सामने बोल पाए बट अकेले में ऐसे बोलते हैं सच में ना जैसे सास बहू की लड़ाई रोक देते हैं ना उस तरह कर
हाँ।
जाते हो और ये मतलब अलग अलग लगभग सभी बोल देते हैं तो ये वही
हाँ।
है कि एक बार एप्रिसिएशन तो शायद ह्यूमन ब्रेन को चाहिए ही चाहिए और वो
यस।
मिलते ही बहुत सारी प्रॉब्लम्स सॉर्ट आउट हो जाती हैं और काम भी बहुत स्मूथली चलता ही है और पता नहीं गॉड्स ग्रेस है या क्या है हमारा डिपार्टमेंट का बेशक कुछ भी है लेक्चर्स बहुत अच्छे से होते हैं सारे काम अच्छे से होते हैं और रिजल्ट वाइज भी ऑलमोस्ट 100% रहता है हमारा तो
वंडरफुल। कौन
शायद
से कॉलेज में पढ़ाते हो मैम आप?
गवर्नमेंट पॉलिटेक्निक सांगी
सांघी। अच्छा। ओ।
ये
आई एम श्योर मैम, आपके जैसा हेड होगा तो काम रुकेगा नहीं।
ऐसा नहीं है मतलब शायद सब में ही ना कुछ खासियत है और मैं सिर्फ उसी पे पॉइंटिंग करने लग गई हूँ अब तो
हम्म।
बस सब में है कुछ अच्छा और वो एप्रिशिएशन मांगते हैं वो मिल जाता है तो वो और अच्छा कर लेते हैं
वंडरफुल। ये एक सिंपल सॉस है, लोग, पीपल, इट्स अ सिंपल सॉस for getting work done. Appreciate. हमें लगता है शोर मचाएंगे, क्रिटिसाइज करेंगे, थ्रेटन करेंगे, है ना, पनिश करेंगे तो सामने वाला शायद रिस्पॉन्ड करेगा. नहीं, ह्यूमन ब्रेन is wired to listen good about itself. The more we praise people for their and encourage them for the contribution that they make, you actually make people more receptive to yourself. Please understand that. When we criticize people, they either become offensive or defensive. But when we appreciate people, they become receptive to us, right? They think that we are a well wisher to them. So, आज से ना एक सिंपल थंब रूल बना लो कि रोज कम से कम 4 लोग को तो कुछ अच्छा बोलना और जेन्युइन ऑथेंटिक अच्छा बोलना है. People can differentiate from authentic. People can differentiate authentic from fake. पता चल जाता है कब सच बोल रहे हैं और कब सिर्फ बोलने के लिए बोल रहे हैं. Right? The more you become somebody, the more you become a sunshine in an organization full of life, full of appreciation, getting inspired by people who are doing better than you, encouraging others who really need that cheerleader type of a person in their lives, right? Oh my God, you actually change the vibe of your organization, right? So be that vivacious, full of life kind of a person so that your mere presence can change the vibe, the change the environment, the energy around you. And the more you start practicing this consciously, more evolved as an individual you become. And in due course of time, oh, this newer version of you will be actually so evolved, so different, so refreshed that when you look into the mirror, you'll be really proud of yourself, right? So learn to appreciate, pay attention, encourage others, cheer, laugh out loud for other people, whistle out the loudest when people do well in their lives, because then you create an energy around or a positive energy around success, around progress, around forward movement, right? And these energies will automatically start coming in your lives as well. Okay, now let's watch this video. Do let me, Anji,
One more thing.
go ahead.
शायद किसी आप जैसी प्रेजेंटेशन में सुना था, सॉरी एंड वो थैंक यू. सीरियसली दीज आर मैजिकल वर्ड्स. ऐसे सुना था और जब भी इम्प्लीमेंट होते हैं मतलब मैजिक ही करते हैं, बट वो बाय हार्ट होना चाहिए.
यस, दिल से होना चाहिए, है ना. बिल्कुल ठीक मैम. बातें छोटी छोटी होती हैं मैम, बस वही छोटी बातें हम इग्नोर कर देते हैं, फिर वो बड़ा बड़ा बन जाता है मैटर. तो अगर हम छोटी चीजों पे फोकस कर लें तो कभी बड़ा होगा ही नहीं वो मैटर. वेल सेड. Okay, let's go ahead, watch this video. Do let me know if there is sound available.
What is a circle of safety? Why should organizations consider building it? So, the outside world is fraught with danger. Things that want to kill you. Caveman times, it would have been saber-toothed tiger or the weather or lack of resources. Things that are trying to end your life, you know? Well, in the modern business world, things that are trying to kill you, quote unquote, are, you know, unpredictable nature of the stock market, or a new technology that shows up out of nowhere and renders your business model useless, or your competition who may want to actually put you out of business, or maybe they just want to steal your customers or deny you customers. You know, these are all pressures that, if left unchecked, will kill you, will put you out of business. Right? These are a constant. This is the danger of the outside world. The dangers inside an organization are a variable. And a circle of safety is something that leaders provide. They draw a circle of safety around their people, and they say, if I keep you safe internally, and you do not fear any dangers internally, then you are more likely to work together, trust each other, cooperate, to face the dangers externally. And only when there's a strong circle of safety is there innovation. Innovation requires risk and experimentation and failure. And if people fear that they might lose their jobs simply because they tried and failed or lost some money, then they won't try. So there is no innovation. This is the joke that so many organizations pound people and say, if you come up with something big, we'll give you a big bonus. But if you fail, we'll fire you. Or even if that risk exists, they are destroying innovation in their company. The responsibility of leadership is two things: to decide how porous that circle of safety is. In other words, who should we let in? We can only let in people that we want to trust and that would trust us. In other words, people who believe what we believe, who share our values, right? If you let in someone just because they're qualified but they don't share your values, they're like cancer; they'll destroy it. That's number one. The other thing is how big to make the circle. Some leaders make the circle of safety only around themselves and their board and their senior executives. They're the safe ones, but everybody else can fend for themselves. In fact, worse, they'll sacrifice everybody else to keep themselves safe. These are very weak organizations. The strongest organizations, the leaders extend that circle of safety right to the most junior people. And they insist on the bureaucracy, that each layer of bureaucracy protect the layer beneath it. This is effective bureaucracy. This is what leadership is supposed to do. And what you find is, like I said, when the circle of safety is strong and people come to work and feel safe, they naturally cooperate, trust each other, face the dangers externally, and seek the opportunities externally. When they have to invest any more than the minimum of any energy to protect themselves internally, they're taking away the energy that they could be applying. That's why great organizations are the ones who should convince their people.
On your screen is an activity again, which is like a questionnaire, right? A self-introspection questionnaire, which talks about, are you building a culture of trust? So I shall be leaving this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 questions on screen. You can take, it's 15:20 on my, on my watch. I give you 5-7 minutes. Please go through the questions and mark either yes or no to the statements so that you understand where on the continuum of trust building do you fall as a leader or as an individual who holds a leadership position in your organization. I would have read these out, but I'm just giving my throat a little rest. Okay? So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 questions. Yeah. Take 8 minutes and please mark yourself yes or no on these 8 questions. And I don't mind, you can keep a screenshot of this inventory and certainly you can share it with your colleagues, you can share it with your juniors, right? So that everybody understands what trust feels like. Wonderful, Punitsa. If it's a yes, yeah, you are somebody who know how to build up trust, and you have smoother relationships, happier relationships, less cynicism, less criticism, more appreciation, and people treat you more as a friend, an ally, a mentor, rather than as a competitor. Wonderful, Dr. Neha. I'm glad. So these activities, they are like reflection, self-reflection exercises. They let us know where do we stand. There's nothing right or wrong. It just tells us where we are. Wonderful. Um, Fatim Unisa. Very unique name you have. Okay. Now, trust na do tarah ka hota hai. There is 2 type of trust, or there are 2 different dimensions that can help us trust others. One is called as cognitive trust, which comes from here. Another is called as affective trust, which comes from here, dil se. Okay? Now, what is cognitive trust? Cognitive, we trust people who have 2 things, capability and consistency. Now, let us suppose you have team members and you know that few members in your team have a wonderful skill set. They have an excellent mindset. Whatever responsibilities will be given to them, they will be able to deliver it. Why? Because of the caliber, because of the ability, because of the capacity. So automatically, this set of members who have the skill set, who have the mindset, who have the ability, will be trusted more in comparison to nincompoops who do not know what is to be done, who do not know anything about their jobs. In other words, if you want to be trusted, you must be very authority. You need to be an authority in your field. I openly say मुझे psychology के अलावा कुछ समझ में नहीं आता. I know nothing beyond human relationships, and yes, I know human behavior and human relationships in such a manner that you bring anything on table and I will be able to resolve it for you. Be it a college or a school or an organization, family, couples, parents, whatever it is. Because I know I'm an authority in my field. Right? So, to be able to be a trustworthy member, actually start working on your skill set. Or if you are to choose somebody whom you can trust in an organization or in a team, look for one, the most skilled person. First, dimension. Second is consistency. Consistency means somebody has been delivering without fail. Somebody is dependable. Somebody is reliable. Like a task has been handed over to this person and you can actually forget about it and this person will deliver it. If you have created that kind of reputation for yourself that, oh, hand it over to Aman or hand it over to Neha and it's done, right? You automatically are the most trustworthy member. Correct? So, your ability to perform in a consistent manner makes you a very good candidate to be trusted. And when it comes to the softer side of life, the feeling side of life, which are the people we trust the most? The ones who really care, for who value, for whom we matter, our existence matter. Right? If we are absent, they're going to call you and ask you, hey, you weren't there, all good? I didn't see you in the last meeting. I didn't see you yesterday in the college. Where were you? They really care. If you say, I'm sick, I'm unwell, they'll say, okay, tell me, is there any way I can help you? Can I share some burden with you? Because you matter to them. Right? And the second variable here is called candor. Candor means integrity, honesty. Right? That this person is so high on integrity and honesty that this one is not going to make any compromises. This one is not going to negotiate when it comes to honesty. They are not going to deceive me. Right? They're going to hold my reputation. They're going to speak for me even while I'm not there in the room. That is called as candor. Right? So, start caring for other people. Okay, and speak up for friends who are absent, right? I mean, become the voice of the people who are not there around you if you really call yourself their friend, isn't it? So they say your reputation travels before you. So when you protect someone's reputation in their absence, oh, you are one of the most trustworthy persons in their lives. So work on your skill set. Be somebody who is very consistent when it comes to delivering something. Be a caring person, whether it's your colleagues, juniors, subordinates, students, and be somebody who holds on to who never falls from grace. This actually is the simplest recipe, or these are the ingredients for building trust, winning someone's trust. Right? Now, in other words, expertise, good reputation, goodwill, reliability, that you are somebody who others can depend upon, and authentic, that you're a very honest person and you are honored for being a very honest, authentic, candored individual, is what wins you the trust of other people. Again, my question to all of you, anybody who would like to share any observation or experience in the past where either you became trustworthy because of practicing any one of these variables, or you picked up somebody that, oh, this one can be relied upon, or this is a trustworthy person because they showed any of these characteristics. Any remarks? Any personal or professional experience, घर पे, college में, family में. You know, when women get married, you actually develop trust for a person who cares for you in in-laws. If you fall sick and you know this person really says, okay, you take rest of the things will be taken care of. Yeah, this attitude of care develops a soft corner for this person, and you start relying on this person. So, you know, no matter what vocabulary or jargon these big organizational things they use, it actually boils down to very simple human principles that we have been learning, that we have been talking about right from our growing up years. And because of this influence of West, right, and because a lot of uh, you know this military model that sometimes we start applying in our organizations, that oh, it's all about performance, it's all about KRAs, give me the numbers, whether it's admission, whether it is attendance, whether it is marks, you know, it's all about numbers, numbers, numbers. So what is happening? Some very valuable elements of human existence are getting lost. Okay, so this session is just a gentle reminder that these things have not become old fashioned, my dear friends. These are valuable things which help you build up a very secure base for yourself and people around you. And after all, you know, we give 7 8 hours of our day at work. What if this place feels safe? What if this place feels reassuring? And people around you don't feel like enemies or threats, but they feel like allies and friends. What a wonderful thing to happen. Okay. Now, let us discuss signs of absence of trust in a team. Yes. May I ask you this? When there is absence of trust in a team, what does it feel like? What do you sense? Please use the chat box and answer this question.
Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good
I just
afternoon.
want to share one of my experience that one of my colleague, few females in our college, and most of the faculties are male.
Okay.
So, due to my experiences with female faculties, it seems to me that it is more easier to work with the opposite gender rather than with the same one.
I see.
I
Okay.
because it may seem that I will seem like a manipulator, but somewhere I feel that the trust is not there in females because they are not in the subordinating or coordinating position. They are in the means, competition mode.
Oh, hmm.
And
I
when
see.
I work with other colleagues from the other gender, they support some of them also criticize, but the way they criticize is not hurting because they focus on the lacunas or the loopholes in my work. But when we consider about women, they will overall judge and more than the lacunas, they will start criticizing the their
Person.
according to their prejudices.
Hmm. Okay.
So I think that why they don't trust that whatever I am seeing is right. What it may be possible, I may forgotten some points. It may be my mistake, and I'm not allowed to do mistake when I'm with them. But in the same, if I imagine the same problem, I will discuss it with my colleagues, with my male colleagues, and they will understand it and they will provide their positive feedback, whether they can do or not. If they are not ready with me, I will accept it positively. If I will deny, they will also accept it positively. But when this same situation happens in the female group, only one or two colleagues are more positive other than us. But in my department, my senior is mainly it happens sometime when we are working in the same departments. But I always welcome the ideas. I always welcome the suggestions. But whenever I give suggestions, it's seems like it is a challenge to her authority.
Hmm.
So how to deal with these, ma'am?
Hmm.
I'm I'm the
Okay.
junior one in
So
my department.
okay, Dr. Neha, I know it takes a lot of courage to be open about certain situations in the workplace. And I first of all really want to congratulate you that you spoke about it. I'm 100% sure there are a lot of people who go through similar things, but there is hesitation. So, Dr. Neha, what I heard you say is that you have felt that there has been trust deficit, especially when it has come to your gender, people, female
Yes, yes,
colleagues,
ma'am.
whereas you felt that there has been more support from your male
Male
colleagues
colleagues.
in your
I don't
organization.
feel any hindrance about when it comes to discuss about a project, about a work, or any other activity or assignment that is being assigned to me. I feel my team should be male because somewhere I think their support will be with me. So I have trust with them and they also trust me. They also feel easy. They have spoken on my face that, Madam, it is easier to work with you rather than with your senior.
Hmm. I get that. Yeah. So you vibed better with these people. Dr. Neha, what I would do in your situation is that I would have a very intimate one to one discussion or conversation with at least one or two colleagues with whom I face a problem on a regular basis. That, ma'am, I really want to discuss something which has been bothering me for some time, and this is how I have felt over the period of time. It could just be my perception, but I thought, I really wish to be transparent, and I want to clear the air that exists
Mm,
between us, right? So
mm,
sometimes, Dr. Nia, we are hesitant to bring these difficult conversations, right? And but as I can see that you have that knack in you where you can actually bring these you can bring the issue and you can discuss and talk. So rather than sitting and sharing it in a group, if you have a one to one very heart to heart talk with a colleague who you feel has not been supporting you, or has not been kind of really been fair with you, right? So probably that might help. And when you talk to a person, ma'am, who is little difficult, we always use I statements rather than you statements. That, ma'am, I have felt in the past that things have been going downhill between us. I felt in the past that I've not been very well received, or my ideas have not been very well received at your end. So I really thought that since we have to work together and it's a long journey together, that let's clear if there is any misunderstanding or anything that needs to be cleared. Do you think, Dr. Neha, that one thing may work?
yes, ma'am, I have tried it very so many times that I should see it clearly, and I have done it also. But I think she's very good at personal level, no doubt. But at the professional level, the competition mode is always on there.
Uh, then, Dr. Neha, it is her insecurities or her inability
Maybe, ma'am,
to, yeah, so you are like a threat to her then. So I
it's
think
possible.
just be more supportive to her then. Sometimes like we say, na, iron cuts iron. So if you think she's
Yeah,
non-supportive, become more supportive to her if it is possible, right? And be an ally to her. Let her see the good side of you, and you become a role model for her. There will be reciprocation, I believe.
maybe, ma'am, she secretly admire, but she doesn't show it up.
Mm. Maybe yes. Again, ma'am, when there are insecurities, it's very, very difficult to be authentic with these people. Karuna ma'am says one odd
Yes, ma'am,
person
that
can
is the
ignore.
problem. And we have to sit together, so we can't be so much means manipulative, or we should be so much, I should say, we can't wear some type of mask. So we
हाँ,
are
I know.
also
Pretentious
happy, we
नहीं
are
हो
also
सकता है.
good.
हाँ,
I have to be original. So sometimes I
yes.
feel it very challenging to work. It's very challenging.
I get that. So you change the equation by being more supportive to her, right? Appreciate her more, okay? And
Yes, ma'am.
offer more help than usual, than you do. So I'm sure, ma'am, This will change the equation to some extent.
Yes, ma'am, I have tried it, but I will again try it with more frequency and more. Um, yes, I will try my best.
So you have to think, Dr. Neha, about you have to choose your battles wisely, isn't it? You have to
Yeah,
think.
yeah, yeah, sure.
Go back and
Yeah,
think, is this battle really worth fighting? If yes, go ahead, do it. If no, then just let it be. Let it be two people, two stories in the
let
same
it be.
department.
Yeah, yes, this is the last option. I have thought of it so many times that if it
Right.
doesn't change, I have to let it go. Thank you, ma'am.
Wonderful.
Thank you so much.
Okay. All right. Coming back to my question. What does absence of trust looks like? Karuna ma'am says, yes, you're hesitant to share ideas. Yes, you're absolutely right. What else? जब ट्रस्ट नहीं होता तो कैसा होता है? What does it feel like? There's lack of transparency. Yes, absolutely. What else? This is what it looks like. There is no sense of belongingness. There is lack of teamwork because you're not sharing things with each other. You're keeping the cards very close to your heart. Yes, absolutely. Teamwork fails, right? And the communication is not there, proper communication is not there. Everybody is doing their own bit. And there is no one single major goal that we are all converging towards, isn't it? So, what kind of an organization would that be? There will be zero commitment, very less responsibility, very compromised sense of ownership, lot of conflict in the team, and poor team performance. And imagine be a part of the team where everybody is doing their thing, nobody supports nobody. They don't share information with you. They have major, um, you know. trust issues with each other. Such an unhealthy environment it is, right? So, what is the secret formula for trust? It is reliability plus likability. For us to be able to trust others, we got to like them as the people that they are, right? And also, we got to be feel we can feel that these are like reliable people. They will consistently stand by me, either personally or professionally, as and when I would need them. So, trust is equal to reliability and likability. To increase trust amongst teams, you got to increase the level of reliability and likability, right? So, when you have shared common interests, you like each other, isn't it? When you come from some similar backgrounds, there is a sense of likability. So, more similarities you look for in the other person, easier it gets to strike a chord with that person, isn't it? More interested you get in their interests, more likable you become as a person. More caliber you develop for listening to others, right, and honor their perspective, more likable you become. And never ever promise more than you can deliver. Don't do that. That's really a recipe for disaster. Promise 90, deliver 95. That makes a lot of difference. For someone to trust you and for you to have a team, which can rely upon you, make your intentions crystal clear. Be very transparent when it comes to communication, right? For example, one way of saying certain things is, I want to help you to be successful or as successful as possible and help you to get promoted. Could I share some feedback that might be helpful? So when you have to, share certain things with you, show the other person that you are actually adding value to them. Show the other person that you're actually interested in how they progress and get promoted in their organization, isn't it? So when you tell the other person that this conversation is more about them and whatever they are sharing is for their good, they will definitely listen to you. Keep adding value to other people's lives, my dear friend, if you wish to be trusted and respected as a colleague or as another person in someone's life, right? Follow through on your commitments. As I said earlier, also, promise breaker is a shoemaker, right? So, whatever you say, please deliver, or else do not promise at all. Okay. Now, listen to this gentleman. He has some very interesting things to share with all of us in terms of how to build trust and respect in an organization. Let's watch this video together.
We survey CEOs, police officers, truck drivers, cooks, engineers. If people are working, we've surveyed them. And what we know in terms of their happiness, workers all want the same things. There's 3 billion working people in the world, and about 40% of them would say they're happy at work. That means about 1.8 billion, or almost 2 billion people, are not happy at work. What does that do, both to those people and the organizations that they work in? Well, let's talk about money. Organizations that have a lot of happy employees have 3 times the revenue growth compared to organizations where that's not true. They outperform the stock market by a factor of 3. And if you look at employee turnover, it's half that of organizations that have a lot of unhappy employees. The miracle thing is you don't have to spend more money to make this happen. It's not about ping pong tables and massages and pet walking. It's not about the perks. It's all about how they're treated by their leaders and by the people that they work with. So I'd like to share a few ideas that create happy employees. Idea number 1, in organizations where employees are happy, what you find is 2 things are present: trust and respect. Leaders often say, we trust our employees, we empower our employees, and then when an employee needs a laptop, and this is a true example, 15 people have to approve that laptop. So for the employee, all the words are right, but 15 levels of approval for a $1,500 laptop, you've actually spent more money than the laptop on the approval. And the employee feels maybe they're really not trusted. So what can an organization do to have a high level of trust? The first organization that comes to mind is Four Seasons. They have magnificent properties all around the world. And their employees are told, do whatever you think is right when servicing the customer. To hand that trust to your employees, to do whatever they think is right, makes the employees feel great. And this is why they're known for delivering some of the best service in the world. Idea number 2, fairness. The thing that erodes trust in an organization faster than anything else is when employees feel that they're being treated unfairly. Employees want to be treated the same, regardless of their rank or their tenure or their age or their experience or their job category compared to anyone else. When I think about great organizations who get fairness right, the first organization that comes to mind is Salesforce. They found that men and women working in the same job with the same level of proficiency were making different amounts of money. So immediately they calculated the difference and they invested $3 million to try and balance things out. Idea number 3 is listening. So to be a listener who connects with all types of people, we have to unlearn a few things. We've all been taught about active listening and eye contact, an intense stare, and a compassionate look. That's not listening. Repeating what the person says, that's not listening. Being humble and always hunting and searching for the best idea possible, that's what listening is. And employees can feel whether you're doing that or not. They want to know when they talk to you and share an idea, did you consider it when you made a decision? The one thing that everybody appreciates and wants when they're speaking is to know that what they say matters so much, you might actually change your mind. Otherwise, what's the point of the conversation? We all know the things we need to change, the things that we need to do differently. The way you behave, the way you treat others, the way you respond, the way you support defines the work experience for everyone around you. Changing to be a better person, the world is littered with those failures. But changing because there's something you believe in, some purpose that you have, where you're willing to risk almost everything because it's so important to you. That's the reason to change. If it's not, you should probably find a different place to work.
Yes. So these were the different things that I wished to share with all of you. I hope you found it useful, right? And now it's time if you wish to share your learning from today's session. What did you learn today? What is your take home from today's session? Yes, did you learn anything today? If yes, What was that light bulb moment, or what was that one thing that you're going to take home and you're going to start practicing it at home and in your organization? May I have some answers, please? Yes, trust building is the foundation of teamwork. Absolutely right. So, what is that one thing that you're going to start practicing personally or professionally, which would help you win others' trust and create an ambience of trust in your organization? क्या नया शुरू करेंगे सब लोग? All right. Yes, making the intentions clear is so important. We can be one if trusted and can win others by trust. Very true, Narayanji. Start listening more. Yes, that's the key and the easiest thing to practice, Anamika. Just paying attention to what other people are saying. Thank you.